Welcome back to Melbourne Ballpark for some Sunday baseball. My name is Michael Marcantonini, Josh Sperber alongside me. We are getting set for the completion of Game 3 of Round 2 between the visiting Perth Heat and your Melbourne Aces. Last night's game was suspended with 2 outs and the bases empty in the top of the second inning. The Perth Heat leading the Aces 4-0. Junior Caminero had just hit a 2-run home run over the left field wall to put Perth up 4-0, doubling their early lead. That home run came off starter Kyuta Kazama, who threw an inning and 2/3, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, struck out 2, and walked 2. So Kazama started. He will not be back on the mound today when this game resumes in just a few minutes. 11 a.m. local time is when Game 3 from last night will resume. And again, that one will go the full 9 innings, so we'll play about 7.5 as we finish up the game from last night. Second suspended game already this season for the Aces. And then about a half hour after Game 3 ends, the originally scheduled Game 4 for today will be played. Game 4 was originally scheduled for 1 p.m. today. It's a Bark at the Park day at Melbourne Ballpark, so the dogs will be out. It should be a fun day, but that game will start somewhere around the half-hour mark after the suspended game ends. So not a doubleheader officially, but sort of a doubleheader here today in Melbourne. And that's the situation that we've got going on today. So, Josh, a lot of baseball ahead of us today. About 14 or so innings if everything holds off with the rain and whatnot.
Yeah, it seems like the weather is going to hold off. We have a new pitcher coming on in a whole lot of ways for Melbourne. Mizuki Miura is going to be getting the relief, and he has a solid 1 season with the SoftBank Hawks in one of Japan's professional leagues. 4-0 record, 2.60 ERA in 11 relief appearances, but 52 innings of work in those relief appearances. So this is a guy who could certainly eat the middle innings for Melbourne this season.
Yeah, it'll be good to see him out there for the first time this season as we welcome you into the Brick Lane pregame show. As you can see on the screen, the starting lineup graphics are up there, so we're a little behind on that. But we will once again get you the starting lineup for Melbourne in this game. So the Aces came to bat just once. They went down without a run and no hits as well in the first inning. A couple walks, but then 5 batters into that first inning, it was over. So we'll run through that lineup quick for you. Leading off in center field, Aaron Whitefield batting second. The designated hitter, Chris Burke. Robbie Glendinnings's at shortstop. He bats third. J.D. Osborne, the catcher, batting fourth. In the 5-hole, it's Jacob Robson. He's in right field. And then those were the 5 that batted in the first inning yesterday. So we will pick up in the bottom of the second when we get there with first baseman Matt O'Neill hitting in the 6th spot, Jared Dale in the 7th spot. He's at second. Aiden Willis is in left field batting 8th, so those are the 3 due up in the bottom of the second. And then after that, Jared Cruz in the 9-hole. So that is your starting lineup brought to you by New Era Technology, starting lineup for the Melbourne Aces. So, Josh, we only saw 5 batters last night for the Aces, but this is a team that's been swinging the bat really well this season, especially during that 3-game win streak that was snapped on Friday night. What do you expect from the lineup today?
Well, you talked about the win streak ending. That began on a similar situation to this, a rain out of the night before. Aces come into the rain out with the deficit. They do the same today. 4 runs the deficit today, though, so a bit more to overcome, but you just have to expect the similar kind of resilience you've seen from Melbourne. We've talked about the championship DNA of this roster. These guys just want to win. And I think they're going to try and come out aggressive from the box and try and come out on top of the Heat here.
We'll take a look at the Aces dugout. Looks like everybody's loose, ready to go, having some fun. A lot of baseball to be played here today. The weather looks a lot better than it did last night. The rain delay started just 30 minutes into action last night. The game started a little bit after 7 p.m. 30 minutes in, the tarps came on. The rain started before that. They played through the rain for almost a full half inning. Tarps finally were called for, and we waited around for almost 2 hours, Josh, last night before they finally called it. But as the Aces take the field, we've got some light blue sky off in the distance, and no rain right now.
Yeah, really just gorgeous baseball weather. Not a whole lot of clouds in the sky, and we're ready for some dogs to come to the ballpark and for the Aces to be some dogs and trying to get that lead chipped away.
Yeah, he's Josh Sperber. I'm Michael Marcantonini. We'll take a look at the Vibrant Services weather report. And like I said, Josh, no rain right now. some potentially later.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to hold out, but beautiful weather, 16 degrees Celsius. The wind has certainly died down quite a bit from last night, but it's still blowing out towards left center field. So we could see, if a ball's hit in the right pocket, we could see some fly balls turned into some long balls.
Could be a big day for the right-handed hitters. Junior Caminero hit the first home run of this game. He did that last night, and I don't even think the wind would have had any factor on that. That one was going to be gone. It doesn't matter what ballpark, what weather conditions. That one was absolutely crushed. The ball he hit. Yeah,
absolutely destroyed, and just a mistake pitch from Kazama. Sometimes it happens. I'm going to blame that on the rain, though. I think it just kind of slipped out of his hands a little bit, and he didn't get the break that we saw him get, because that curveball really just dove coming out of his hand. Really just a high start and then a quick 12-6 drop on that curveball from Kazama, but that time it just dropped over the plate and Caminero got all over it.
Well, the Aces have 7 right-handed hitters in their lineup, so that bodes well for the Aces today. As we get set to resume play, Josh Reddick, the cleanup hitter for the Heat, set to start things off. The last pitch that was thrown last night was hit out of the ballpark, and Reddick was the man scheduled to hit after Caminero, and he will hit now against Mizuki Miura. He swings at the first pitch and chops it foul off his front foot. So Josh ran through the numbers for Miura in Japan this past season. And Peter Moylan and company just hoping that he can eat up some innings today.
Yeah, I mean, that's early in the game. Have to pull the starter because of rain. That's just what you got. That's just what you want him to do. And as I said, it's something that Miura has plenty of experience doing when he was in Japan.
Hard hit ground ball to first. Matt O'Neill takes it to the bag himself. You saw Matt slip a little bit over there, and that ends the inning. So 2 pitches, and Miura finishes off the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second after this. It's 4-0 Perth. Aces coming to bat. Keep it locked on the Aces TV network.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Bottom of the second inning from Melbourne Ballpark. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber with you on the call. Right-hander Jordan Power back to work to start the bottom of the second inning against the Aces. Power started last night's game for Perth, and he's back out there today. Josh, 21 pitches, 12 strikes, so an easy first inning for him, but a little surprising to see a starter back out there a second day in a row.
Yeah, he had 2 strikeouts, 2 walks as well, but usually after rain suspends play, the pitchers will change almost every single time. This is one of the very few instances that I've seen the guy who was throwing before the game was pushed back come back out on the mound. So it'll be interesting to see how warm he stayed and if the Aces can take advantage of a kind of unorthodox pitching situation.
Power, 24 years old. He's an Australian native. This is his first experience in professional baseball. As Matt O'Neill steps in, he's the 6-hole hitter, but he's leading off the second. First pitch fastball misses high and away. It's O'Neill, Jared Dale, Aiden Willis, 6, 7, 8. New umpiring crew, well, a partially new umpiring crew for the resumption of this game. Hard hit ground ball up the middle. Nice backhand play by Kozma. It's too easy for him out at second base, Josh. Yet another stellar play from the former big leaguer.
Yeah, former first-round pick as well, looking every bit like it. Looked like he could still play in the big leagues. And we've seen plays like that all series long. Really smooth at second base, making that really difficult play. Backhanded, running away from the first base bag and still being able to get out Matt O'Neill, who's got solid speed. Heck of a play from Pete Kozma.
Takes a base hit away from Matt, and as I was mentioning, the umpiring crew has changed a little bit. Paul Latta is behind home plate. Andrew Bell's the first base umpire, and Casey Cook is the third base umpire. Dale takes a strike over the heart of the plate. It's 0-1. And Josh, I know I mentioned in the pregame no rain at the moment, but there was some coming. Well, the rain has already started here at Melbourne Ballpark.
Yeah, very, very light mist. Certainly nothing that I think is going to make suspending play any sort of imminent, but just hoping that the weather will stay out and the rain can subside quickly.
Dale pops one up right side of the diamond. Shallow right field. Kozma has his hand up, makes the grab. 2 outs for Power here in the second. That brings up Aiden Willis.
Now to the plate for the Melbourne Aces, left fielder, Aiden Willis.
Did you get any sleep last night, Josh? I know we got home pretty late. Now we got back here at 8:30 this morning. You sleep all right?
I didn't sleep. You know that. I haven't slept in 3 years.
I think I got about 6.5 hours, I want to say. 6 hours. Pitch misses outside to Willis.
No, decent sleep.
Had my breakfast on the go this morning.
Oh, I had to wake up a bit early, get a nice little cup of coffee so I could not be a zombie on the mic today.
Let's pitch to Aiden. Fastball over for a strike. It's 1-1. See, I don't drink coffee, so I don't need it to get going in the morning, but I will say this morning when the alarm went off, I'm thinking like, oh, here we go. Long day ahead. But I'm all good. You know those hot jam donuts they serve down the first baseline here?
So really good.
So I had one of those earlier. Those are great. Got a little sugar in me before hopping on air. Well, now the sun comes out. The weather just does not make sense here.
It really doesn't. This is the day that we were expecting, though. Beautiful baseball weather right now, and Aiden Willis is working a nice at bat against Jordan Power here.
So I had one of those donuts, good as always, but I had to heat it up because it was from yesterday, and wanted to heat it up so it was a little more fresh. And I forgot about the jam in the middle, and I bit into once I got to the middle, like that, it burned my mouth. That jaw was hot. 2-1. Willis sends one in the air, about the same spot that Dale did. See who wants this one, and this time it's the right fielder Boyarsky. 3 up, 3 down in the second, and 2 scoreless innings for Jordan Power. We head to the top of the third after this. Josh will take over on the play-by-play on Aces TV.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
The sun is back out here in Melbourne. The Aces, though, trail 4-0 to the Perth Heat. Josh Sperber, Michael Mark Antonini, as Mizuki Miura working quickly to start off this third inning. Inside on the breaker to Ulrich Bojarski, right fielder, who is one for one on the day, an RBI single in the first. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball upstairs, but in there for a called strike.
That was a wind-aided RBI single in the first inning. The fly ball he hit down the right field line looked ticketed for heading out of play, and then it somehow came back in fair territory.
Swing and a miss. Miura fools Bojarski on that high heat, and it's 1-2. And that really, the weather really is playing a factor thus far. There were a couple of those high fly balls that were blown around by the wind, made things difficult for the defense. And Miura making things difficult for Bojarski. 4-pitch K to start off the top half of the third inning. First punch out of the game for Mizuki Miura.
He looks really good out there. Very poised on the mound, just doing his thing out there, working well with his catcher, J.D. Osborne.
And now he's got a tough test to face him. Pete Kozma, the first strikeout victim of Kyuta Kazama back in the first, but a former first-round pick and a major league talent at the dish. That one's fouled into the netting, count 0-1. Although Kozma has been pretty quiet so far from the plate. He had one hit on Friday. He had one hit on Friday night's game, went 1 for 5. And then in the first game of the series, Kozma went 0 for 3 with a walk. So 1 for 8, now 1 for 9 with the first inning strikeout. And that one is hit into the gap. That's going to fall and go for extra bases. Kozma taking a sprint around first base. The throw comes in from Whitefield high, but it won't matter anyway, as Pete Kozma slides in safely with a 1-out double.
Really nice piece of hitting there. Turned the hips and took it to the pool side. Pretty much barreled it up, and you would just mention how he hadn't done a ton with the bat in this series. Well, that changed pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think he heard me. Took exception to that, but a nice piece of hitting by Kozma. Take a look at that All-Star Access higher replay right in the gap. A good job by Whitefield, though, to get on that ball quickly. But now 1 out in the third and runners in scoring position for Perth, and Alex Hall coming to the plate. Miura deals. Breaking ball flutters over home, and it's 0-1. Hall walked on 4 pitches back in the first inning. The guy who has caught all 4 days of this series now. Coming off of a 3 for 4 game with an RBI in Perth's win. Sharp grounded or short, and that just gets under the glove of Robbie Glendinning. That was a hard hit ball. It should be ruled. We'll see if that's ruled a hit, and it looks like it will be. A hard hit ball at Glendinning. The runner, Kozma, will stay on second base, and it is a 1-out single for Alex Hall.
Yeah, he's really come around quickly with the bat after that 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in Game 1 of the series. But this is a really deep Perth lineup. You got Alex Hall hitting in the 7-hole today. And Glendinning went down for that one with the glove and just barely snuck under.
Yeah, that would have been a tough get if he had come up with the ball, but 1 out, runners on first and second for Jake Bowie. And the pitch. Fastball upstairs, count 1-0. Bowie struck out swinging, second and final strikeout victim of Kazama, whose final stat line for his ABL debut, 1 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Lifted high in the air out to left field. Willis sprinting towards the track and makes the catch. Kozma will move back to second base. He thought that ball was going to drop, but that speed of Aiden Willis gets out number 2.
Yeah, you see how he just glides to the ball. Got a really good jump, that good first step, and yeah, we talked about it last night in the pregame. The Aces basically have 3 center fielders roaming the outfield right now, and Willis especially. You look at where he's normally been before Whitefield got back into play in the outfield when he DH'd a couple games. You know, Willis was out in center. It's impressive to see the 22-year-old move in the outfield.
And Willis might be the fastest player on the field. He has a whole lot of speed. Now B.J. Cook, the left fielder for the Heat, pops one foul, and it's 0-1.
Talked about Kazama's line last night, Josh. He ended up throwing 60 pitches, only 30 of them for strikes, and the first inning was pretty tough. The strike-to-ball ratio was not where he wanted it to be. It was missing up with the fastball. The breaking ball was really good. It kind of became a get-me-over pitch for him to get out of that first inning. But I'm really excited about what that kid has to offer moving forward.
Yeah, he seems to have a really nice fastball and curveball combination, but it's just getting his feet under him in professional baseball. Not an easy thing to do. Other than the Caminero home run, he seemed like he was starting to settle in, though.
Yeah, and it's a shame the rain came when it did, because he probably could have given the Aces 4, maybe 5 innings if he had a couple quick frames there. And it's just about getting comfortable. And we were talking before the game, the rain couldn't have been comfortable to pitch in that second inning.
1-1. That one is hit high in the air out to right field. Robson giving chase, camps under it, and makes the catch. So 2 one-out hits for Perth, but both runs get stranded. No one scores for the first time in an inning for Perth, so the Aces will try and take advantage. 4-0 the score heading into the bottom third here on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
The sun is out. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Nice day for kicking back, enjoying a nice Brick Lane beer after today's game. I know that's something I'm waiting for.
I'm ready. We talk about scheduled starting pitchers. Well, I've got some scheduled post-game beverages to drink.
100%. Might even have to get one of those Sidewinders up in here as well.
Hey, they've got so much variety. You could almost call them the super utility beer company because of all the versatility they have and all the different options.
The DJ LeMahieu, if you will. Gold Glove utility for Brick Lane. They got my vote. 1-0 to Jared Cruz is fouled back to even the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, there's a super utility guy at the plate right now.
Yeah. He might end up with the ABL Gold Glove this season. You never know.
Yeah, I talked to Jared yesterday about playing so many different positions.
1-1, caught on a miss, 1-2.
And I asked him, have you always played all over the field, or did that happen later in your career just out of necessity, whether the team needed it or just to help yourself get on the field? And he basically said it was the latter, a combination of ways for him to get on the field more often and also, the team needing some help at other positions.
And that's just the kind of guy that Jared is. He's just really the ultimate team guy. You always see him friendly, just motivating his guys, someone who's been here in Melbourne for 9 seasons now. 2-2. Foul tip into the mid of Alex Hall, and the first at-batter of the third inning is the third strikeout of the game for Jordan Power.
Yeah, and Jared plays mostly infield these days, but he told me he started playing outfield. He was mainly an outfielder when he was younger, and it's just pretty cool to find things out, like just talking to these guys, getting to build working relationships, and finding out information that helps enhance the quality of the broadcast.
Now I'll bring up Aaron Whitefield with 1 out. That's the first pitch go. It's a rare thing. You usually see him attacking those first pitches, but this one a breaking ball that missed outside. Now Power deals. Fastball right down Broadway, and it's 1-1. And Power, interestingly enough, you don't see a lot of starting pitchers work from a very clearly one-sided part of the rubber. But Hall, with his toes almost on the mound, he is right on the first base edge of that pitcher's mound.
Yeah, it's about as far as you can get over there. And I guess he just has a comfort level pitching from that side of the rubber.
Now the 1-2. Whitefield fouls it back again.
And I wonder how that affects the sight line of the hitter, because, instead of looking straight on, he's on an angle right here.
Yeah, it seems like he gets a just wider angle of the plate against the right-handed hitter in Whitefield. Matty does not get the plate, almost in the left-handed hitting batting's box, and it's 2-2.
Like, I'd imagine the fastball in on a right-handed hitter, it would just look a lot different coming in from a little bit of a side angle.
A lot of that deception you see these pitchers pitching with. And that miss low. Count now full to Whitefield.
Well, you see the talent from Power. One time through the lineup, 3 strikeouts. No hits allowed, just the 2 walks.
Payoff pitch. Outside again, and a dangerous base runner will head to first base. First base runner of the game for Melbourne.
Yeah, nice AB there from Whitefield, seeing a few pitches, a patient approach. You mentioned normally a little more aggressive. But down 4 runs, all you need is one base runner to get things going and see if Burke can continue it.
And if there's any player who can have a game-changing impact on the bases, it's Aaron Whitefield. He has breached the 20 steal mark multiple times in his ABL career. And now Chris Burke, the 2-hitter, pulls back the bunt, which misses low.
I'm impressed that Power is even out there again today, because he, like you said, he only threw 21 pitches last night, but going through the process of the warm-up routine and the pitches you're throwing in the bullpen and in between innings to warm up, I mean, those are not necessarily max effort, but it's not like you're just lobbing it in there. It's more than just a bullpen session.
Yeah, and it's not like, and 21 pitches on the longer side when it comes to 1 inning at a time.
Right.
So, I mean, he was pitching well, so you got to like the confidence that Andrew Kyle has in him to be able to go through that warm-up process and get himself ready 2 days in a row. But the Aces have yet to capitalize as Whitefield gets back into first safely.
Yeah, I mean, between him actually warming up for yesterday's game and then the 8 warm-up tosses on the mound before the first inning and then the 21 he threw, he probably threw about 50 pitches yesterday at pretty high effort.
Let's see if Burke pulled back the bunt in time. That throw sails into right field, and Whitefield will sprint on to second base. He takes a turnaround. He's going for third. A throw goes in late, and how about that? Aaron Whitefield forcing a pickoff attempt that goes awry, and the Aces have a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, just a really high throw from Hall. I think he was a little surprised to see Whitefield as far off the bag as he was, and that's why the decision to throw was a little bit late. Here's the All-Star Access Higher replay. You see he kind of shuffled towards first base and then threw. And Whitefield with the speed made a good sharp turnaround second, easy getting to third base.
Yeah, he had no plans to stop at second base, and now with a smart base running decision by Whitefield. So it's a 2-1 to Burke, who lays down a nice bunt, but it rolls foul.
Going back to that point about Power being out there after starting yesterday's game, and then, you just don't see that from starting pitchers when a rain comes and the guy coming back the next day. I mean, if this guy was a member of an affiliated organization right now, he would not be out there today.
No. You definitely see a lot more caution when managing pitchers back in the States. But Andrew Kyle and the Heat ready to let Power throw. The ball gets away from Alex Hall, and the count runs full for the second straight at bat. It's 3-2.
Yeah. Organizations are so careful with prospects at all levels nowadays that, there's just no shot that he would be out there today if he was a member of an affiliated organization. But things are different when, you're an affiliated ball versus independent ball, or if you've never pitched in pro ball before. So I'm sure he said, give me the baseball, let me throw, I want to get my innings in.
Payoff pitch. Slice foul. We'll do it again. And something else that's different, we've only seen 2 starters go less than 6 innings. Well, 3, I guess, but Mincy went 5. In minor league baseball, a lot of teams have a hard cap at 5 innings. And part of that has to do with pitch count, but it's rare you see pitchers go the distance. And, we saw Brock Gilliam go 7 innings. We had Dan McGraw's complete game last week as Chris Burke becomes the second out via the strikeout. 2 strikeouts swinging, induced by Jordan Power. There's 2 outs with a runner on third and Robbie Glendinning up at the plate.
Yeah, that's a big out because the Aces, with a man on third and less than 2 outs, wanted to get Whitefield in there and at least put 1 on the scoreboard, but Power's able to keep them off the board at least for now, and now it'll take a 2-out base hit or, pass ball, wild pitch, something like that, but they're going to have to do it with 2 outs.
Glendinning, 1 of 2 who walked in the first inning, takes a look at ball 1. Another one of the big imports from Melbourne. Getting 2 of the top players in the ABL. As Glendinning, the former Heat player, fouls 1 off, evens the count 1-1.
Robbie was out there yesterday before batting practice talking to some of his former teammates. And some of these guys plays with on the Australian national team as well, as does Whitefield and Burke and the other 5 guys on this Aces roster that play with the national team.
And just a guy who knows how to get on base. Grounder down the third base line and foul it. He has not had a single season with an on-base percentage of less than .405. His career low on-base percentage was .405 back in 2019, and that's still a very solid number. 1-2. Outside, count evens.
And he hits the ball hard. It's not like he's one of those guys that just bloops in singles, infield singles, beats out choppers. He's hitting the ball on a line and finds the gaps pretty regularly.
2-2. Misses low. Count runs full. And an elite slash line, so average on-base percentage and slugging percentage, is .345, a mark that Glendinning has hit every single year in his ABL career, where he has played professionally since 2017. Swing and a miss. There's strike 3. Jordan Power overcomes a throwing error by his catcher to strike out 3 batters and leave a very quick base runner stranded on third base. Aces come up empty, leaving a runner on third base. No hits, an error, and it is 4-0 Heat headed into the 4th.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Top of the order coming up for Perth. The Heat with a comfortable 4-0 lead over the Melbourne Aces, also out hitting the home squad. 6 hits to none for the Aces. A really good start to this one that was continued from a rain-suspended contest, and Perth looking really good.
Yeah, Jordan Power looks great. I mean, you would have no idea that he started yesterday's game. He looks really fresh, and, he's just going to keep going until the Aces are able to do something offensively.
And the leadoff man, Tim Kennelly, started things off with a bang. A double down the third base line to lead off the game. He ended up scoring on a Junior Caminero RBI single. Now it's 1-1 to the long-time Heat player. 13 years in Perth for Tim Kennelly. A regular on the Australian national team as well. 1-1. Swing and a miss, a nasty diving curveball from Mizuki Miura, and it's 1-2. I mean, you could Miura, did not have kind of as hyped a fastball as Kazama, but that curveball is really doing wonders for him right now as the fastball misses upstairs.
Yeah, it's a really solid pitch. And to be able to have that in his bag to drop in there on hitters, that's huge.
2-2. Fouled away.
He's got that pause in his delivery when he hangs that leg a little longer, and we see that a lot with Japanese pitchers. In the motion when they're working out of the windup, just kind of holds that leg up a little bit longer and must throw off the hitter a little bit.
Kennelly scorches it past the Heat dugout. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani certainly a guy that you see doing that kind of delayed leg kick, as it were. But it seems just a bit sharper, like a more kind of heavy leg hold and leg kick from Mizuki Miura. Now the 2-2. Hit on the ground to second. Easy play for Jared Dale for out number 1. Textbook stuff from Miura. Gave up a double to Pete Kozma, former first-round draft pick in the majors, but that is really it. Solid couple of innings, inning and 2/3 now for Miura.
Yeah, this is what Peter Moylan and his staff really needed. Somebody to go out there and eat up some innings, but also throw some zeros up on the scoreboard.
Willie Vasquez takes the first pitch, another breaking ball for a called strike. But there is a man warming up in the bullpen for the Aces. It looks like Jack Enciando. He's getting prepped to pitch as Vasquez fouls one back to make it 0-2.
We haven't seen Jack pitch yet this season, so good to see him getting loose and be good to see him on the mound.
Now Miura deals. Fastball outside, count 1-2. And Miura really just trying to throw strikes. That a purpose pitch that missed off the plate. He's been attacking the zone, though, for sure. 1-2. That one bounced. Osborne does well to block it, but it's a 2-2 count to Vasquez, who walked and scored back in the first. Flied out to foul territory yesterday as part of the second inning before it got suspended by rain. Now the 2-2. High fastball. An 0-2 count turned into a 3-2 count as Vasquez waits out Miura. Here comes the payoff. Sliced high and foul. We'll do it again.
Yeah, the Heat making Miura work more in this inning after a pretty easy third inning.
Yeah, double and an error for the two base runners for Perth in the third, but neither one scored. Here's the payoff. And that's a late call, but it's a ball 4 for Willie Vasquez. Second walk, for Vasquez. First of the day issued by Mizuki Miura.
Yeah, Vasquez a little surprised there. I think he wanted to double check. He's like, is that ball 4 right there? It was close. We'll take a look at the replay.
So as we double check.
That pitch just a bit outside. Looks like the right call.
A definitely close call, but the right one. Made by home plate umpire in Paul Latta. Filling in with a late umpire crew change as Junior Caminero looks for his third hit and fourth RBI. Pitch misses up and away, count 1-0. Singled in Tim Kennelly to open up the scoring in the first, and then a 2-run blast off of Kyuta Kazama last night. Opened up his Australian Baseball League scorebook. Next pitch misses low and in. Count now 2-0. Caminero, one of the top-ranked prospects in the Rays system. Number 17. Number 3 when it comes to third baseman. 2-0. Upstairs, 3-0. Willie Vasquez, who plays shortstop as well. Seems like he's starting to transition there already with Curtis Mead, an Adelaide Giant, and the Rays' number 2 prospect, also a member of MLB Pipeline's top 100 prospects list. Curtis Mead seems to be the next third baseman in line for Tampa, with Vasquez and Caminero trying to find a place themselves.
Well, the farm system as deep as the Rays, guys are eventually going to have to find ways to get on the diamond, knowing that there's so much talent in one system. There's bound to be a log jam at one position.
And the infield, it seems, is where the log jam is for the Tampa Bay Rays system. Now the 3-1. Off goes Vasquez, and he'll have to come back to first as that ball's fouled into the netting.
It's such a grind for a lot of prospects in the minor leagues because not only is there a ton of competition at the minor league level at the different levels, but then you have to look at, okay, who's on the big league roster and, who's a young stud at one position that's going to be there forever. And for the Rays, Wander Franco is signed to a long-term deal. He's the shortstop for the next decade if things go right. So that takes shortstop out of the equation for a lot of guys who are trying to find time up in the show. And then you mentioned, Mead seems like the guy moving forward at third base once he gets to the big leagues. It's not easy. There's only 9 spots on the diamond, and there's, hundreds of guys in each system.
Throw back to first, gets by the first baseman O'Neill, and Willie Vasquez will take advantage. And he'll head to third now as that ball rolled into right. So similar to the pickoff attempt on Aaron Whitefield. An errant throw puts a runner on third, this time for Perth.
Yeah, there's so much foul ground over there, so any ball that gets down the right field line, pretty much picking up 2 bases minimum.
So the error will be charged to Mizuki Miura. And now a 5th run for Perth is standing 90 feet from home plate.
And Perth, with the exception of game 1 of this round, they've done a really good job of extending their lead and scoring in multiple innings. They did it on Friday night when they scored that. They had that 4 runs, 4th inning, and then they added 1 each in the 5th and 6th.
That is hit high in the air by Caminero, shallow right field. O'Neill makes the grab, and Vasquez is going to tag. The throw is in front of the plate, double play.
There we go.
The throw a little bit offline, but got there just in time. The 2 aces catchers hooking up to make a 3-2 double play. So down go the Heat with 1 walk issued and nobody left on base. Still 4-0 though as the Aces look for their first hit in the bottom of the 4th.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
J.D. Osborne leading off the fourth inning as he fouls the first pitch back, and loud clang on the roof. Part of a 3-2 double play with fellow catcher Matt O'Neill, who's playing at first base today. Hopefully the Aces trying to make that a momentum-shifting defensive play. Fastball dot to the outside, but misses to make it 1-1.
Yeah, really nice throw and tag by Matt and J.D. respectively. And when that ball went into shallow right and O'Neill was the one that took it, I'm thinking he's going to try it from third.
Called strike two on the outside corner. If you take a look at the All-Star scaffolding replay. And distance-wise, this doesn't look like a play you'd want to tag up from.
No, and then, but the thought I had was that if Robson had come in to make the grab and had the momentum heading towards home plate, they wouldn't have even tried it.
Speaking of momentum, a rocket of a liner right to Willie Vasquez for out number one.
But because O'Neill, the first baseman, caught it and he was backpedaling and then had to go over and deal with the wind, it wasn't the worst idea in the world to try it because O'Neill, you had to force O'Neill to make a good throw with his body going out towards the direction of center field. But then again, you've got a catcher playing first base, so the guy has a cannon for an arm.
And that one is rocketed deep into right center field. Boyarsky's going to give up, and Jacob Robson smacks one off the video board. The Aces' first hit of the day is a solo jack, and it's 4-1 Perth.
Love to see that from Jacob. He knew it right away, taking a casual jog around the bases there. I wish I could hit a baseball like that, He just hit one off the scoreboard. I mean, that's pretty far out there.
I'd love to get the distance and the exit velo on that one. That was an absolute rocket.
Yeah, I need the StatCast numbers on that.
Aces on the board as O'Neill hits a high one, but it's going to go foul towards the All-Star bar.
Well, now you see a second time through the order, the Aces are getting some better swings off of Jordan Power. Osborne hit a frozen rope out to short. And Robson, first pitch swinging, he knew it right away.
So 4-1 as O'Neill lifts this one into right field. Boyarsky almost goes a bit too far back and adjusts to make the catch for out number two.
There's another hard hit ball, and second time through the order in any situation, not going to say it favors the hitter, but they're going to have a better look at the pitcher because they have already seen him one time through. But not only that, this guy started yesterday's game, and he's back out there today, so the fatigue probably settling in.
As Jared Dale takes the first pitch inside for ball one, and the Aces kind of had the night to commiserate a little bit and see what they saw in the one inning of work from Jordan Power during the rain delay, as there's a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, definitely being able to see a guy 2 days in a row, that helps.
1-1. breaking ball just misses low, and it's 2-1. Jared Dale, though, one of the guys who didn't come to bat in the first inning, so gets both of his at-bats against power today. 2-1. That one's lofted high in the air, foul, 2-2. But Robson clearly learned something. He grounded out to short in the first inning yesterday of today's game. And then the first pitch he sees smacks the video board with it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch him hit because he's so aggressive.
2-2, grounded to third. Caminero scoops, fires across the diamond, and beats Dale by a step. But the damage is done. The Aces on the board for the first time as Jacob Robson solo home run cuts Perth's lead to 3. 4-1 Heat, and Michael Marcantonini will come on for the 5th and the 6th innings when we come back.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
Light and Easy keeping the Aces fueled all season long. You just saw the commercial there bringing us back into the broadcast. I really enjoy the Light and Easy meals. Had one the other day. And they keep me fueled, ready to go. Light and Easy, proud partner of the Aces, keeping our players and staff fueled all season. We move to the top of the 5th inning at Melbourne Ballpark. Michael Marcantonini and Josh Sperber. 4, 5, 6 in the Perth Heat order. It's Josh Reddick, followed by Ulrich Bojarski and Pete Kozma. Mizuki Miuta, the left-hander, back to work. He got the final out of the 2nd inning and then threw up zeros in the 3rd and 4th, respectively. Aces got a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jacob Robson, a solo home run off the scoreboard in right field. First pitch swing, he knew it right away and took a casual stroll around the bases. Well, the Aces finally on the board off of Jordan Power, who's been really good through 4 innings as Reddick chases a pitch down and away. He strikes out for out number 1 of the 5th. 2 punch outs for Mizuki Miuta.
And here's another look at that Robson home run. Nice little bat flip, just a no-doubter. And you can see where that hit the scoreboard, right where the kind of 10th inning number is.
He's having some fun out there. I like the casual bat flip there. You know, very subtle. He knew it. 1 out, no one on. Here's the power-hitting 5-hole hitter, Ulrich Bojarski. RBI single in the 1st that was wind-aided. Then he struck out swinging in the 3rd. He was the first strikeout victim for Miuta. Left-hander hangs his leg and delivers a fastball high.
4 straight strikes to start out the inning. Just missed a bit upstairs with that heater, though. I like what I'm seeing from Miuta, though.
Miuta trying to get through his 3rd full inning. He got the final out of the 2nd, like I mentioned, so the outs that he's gotten so far, he is through 2 2/3 innings of work. Osborne sets up low and away. Here's the pitch. It is low and away, but it misses the zone, and it's 2-2. The Heat got 2 in the first, 2 in the second, all last night. The Heat then had a runner on third with only 1 out in the 4th inning. Caminero sent a fly ball into shallow right field. The first baseman, Matt O'Neill, made the grab through home. J.D. Osborne applied the tag for a 3-2 inning-ending double play on the pop-out. So that kept a run off the board. The Aces then got a run of their own to open the scoring on their side of things on the Robson home run. Here's the replay. Boyarsky fouled one off the inside of his left leg, and then it went up to an area that he didn't want to foul it off of.
Shaking it off pretty quick, though.
Yeah, he's a champ.
Oh, yeah.
Miuta with the next 2-strike pitch. Another foul ball there. So a 4-1 game. The Aces looking to claw their way back. Game was suspended last night with 2 outs and no one on in the top of the 2nd inning. The Heat up 4-0. It was picked up at 11 a.m. local time today. Hard hit ground ball to short. Glendinning, no problem there. The throw is low, but handled at the bag by O'Neill. 2 gone in the inning. So this game will be 9 innings. We'll play through the 9th, but the regularly scheduled Game 4 of this series, which will be started 30 minutes after this one finishes, that will only be 7 innings today. So just a way to save some pitching and help get these games in. That Game 4 will be shortened to 7 innings. And we see that a lot in the minor leagues, Josh. Whenever there's a doubleheader, it becomes 2 7-inning games and trims off 4 innings.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way to just not kind of tire out the players. 2 games in a day is never easy. So it's good to kind of save arms, just really help the players out and avoid some injuries from just that much stress on the body in one day.
You know, college baseball in the United States, when they play doubleheaders, it's always 9 innings, which surprises me because in pro ball they go to 7 for the doubleheaders, and then even in the major leagues during the COVID-shortened 2020 season, doubleheaders became 7 innings just because they just needed a way to shorten games, lessen the load on pitchers in a condensed season, and find a way to just fit games in. But the major league's back to 9 innings for doubleheaders, and this not technically a doubleheader. It became sort of a doubleheader. But 7.5 innings to finish in Game 1, 7 innings to play in the 2nd game of the day. Fly ball left field. Willis ranges back. The wind looks like it's helping this one a little bit. Willis ranges up, but he runs out of room. A solo home run for Pete Kozma, his 2nd extra base hit of the day. He doubled in the 3rd. He now homers in the 5th. And that extends the Perth Heat lead to 5-1. They get that run back that Jacob Robson got the Aces in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, Robson's was a no-doubter. This one had plenty of doubt. That seemed like just a tailor-made fly ball, but right in kind of a jet stream, if you will. If you look at the flags out in left center, you see the wind blowing right where that ball was hit, and it was high enough where the wind just took that out.
It's Kozma's first homer of the season, give him 5 runs batted in. And the 2 extra base hits today give him 3 of those. There's another hard hit ball to left field, but Willis has it on the run, and the inning is over. So Miura comes back and gets the final out after allowing a homer. But the lead is back to 4 for Perth. A run on a hit, no errors, no one left. Bottom 5 after this, 5-1 Perth. Keep it locked on Aces TV. Updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth for Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap into a wealth of resources and join a winning team. There are a lot of interesting spots to take in a game here at Melbourne Ballpark, and recently our own Ed Wyatt did a bit of exploring. Take a look at his visit to the Cyclone Tool Shed down the third base line.
This is the Cyclone Tool Shed. There aren't any rakes here, but there's food, there's drink, and there's a great place to watch a game. You got picnic tables. You can see the visiting team and give them a bad time, keeping it clean, of course. But you got bean bags where you can chill out. In fact, those bean bags looking pretty good. I might head down there myself. I think this Cyclone Tool Shed is going to work out just fine. As you can see, many places to watch a ball game here at Melbourne Ballpark. melbourneaces.com.au. Check it out. See you at the ballpark.
26.
Bottom of the fifth inning from Melbourne Ballpark. It's the Aces and the Heat in Game 3 of 4 here in Round 2 of the ABL season. This game was suspended last night in the top of the second inning and resumed around 11 a.m. local time today. First pitching change of the game for the Perth Heat. This punt 1-2-3 pitching change brings on a left-hander for Perth. And the Heat will go to their bullpen for the first time. They bring on Daniel Schmidt. So Schmidt comes out of the pen, one of 3 lefties in Andrew Kyle's bullpen. First pitch of his afternoon is over for a strike. Aiden Willis, Jared Cruz, and Aaron Whitefield, 8-9-1 for the Aces.
68 pitches on the day for power, 39 for strikes. Not a bad outing, 3 walks, and the only hit he did give up was the home run. I think it's just trying to save his arm for a day where he has a more complete warm-up schedule. I'd imagine if he was only pitching today and didn't get warm for yesterday's game, Power would still be in this ballgame.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Sure, he gave up the solo home run to Robson in the 4th, but really the only blemish on his line score today. He did walk 3 batters, but he was able to work around all 3 of those walks, and that's something that you got to give him credit for, because normally when guys are out there walking batters, especially consecutive walks, somebody comes in to score, but Power kept those free passes. The free passes that he issued, he kept those guys off the board.
Yeah, I mean, when he had a runner in scoring position, the Aces went without a hit. Really, when he needed to clamp down, he certainly did.
Pitch misses outside to Willis, so he runs the count full. He'll see at least 6 from the reliever Daniel Schmidt.
And there's a reliever warming up for the Aces. It's still Jack Enciando getting loose in Melbourne's bullpen.
Willis drives one out to deep left center field. Reddick ranges back, but he'll just turn and watch it fly. Fire me up, Aiden Willis. Another solo shot for the Aces. Back-to-back innings, the Aces go deep, and it's a 5-2 game early.
Welcome to the ballgame, Daniel Schmidt. That was a shot by Willis. That had to be 100 miles an hour off the bat at least. No doubt about that one.
We talked about the wind early on in this game, and we knew there were going to be some balls hit out of this ballpark today. 3 so far in this game, 1 last night, 4 total, 1 last night, 3 so far today, 2 for the Aces, 1 for the Heat. So Willis helps the Aces get that run right back after Cosma homered in the top of the 5th.
Some stark differences, though, between the Aces and the Heat home runs. Cosma's, while well hit, was still caught up by the wind. 2 no-doubters from Willis and Robson.
Yeah, that ball was stung off the bat, and Willis is not necessarily a big guy. He doesn't have that overpowering frame when you see him, but he's got some serious pop in his bat.
Yeah, we saw that in the exhibition game. Ended up deciding it late in the contest with a 7th inning home run. And doing more of the same here, and both of them just not high-arcing shots, just Rockets line drives that got out in a hurry.
Cruz fouls one off. He struck out swinging his first time up. What was the over-under on home runs today? Did you get that line before the game?
Oh, I don't know betting lines at all.
Me either. That's why I asked you, but we're kind of lost now.
Yeah, I think I'm hammering the over if it keeps going like this, though. I'll tell you that much.
We'll set it now. We've already seen 4 in the game. Can we? If you want to, let's set it at like 6.5. Ground ball to short. Vasquez has it over to first, and that is the first out recorded by Daniel Schmidt in this one.
And that one, Cruz saw the pitch well, but just got a little bit over the top of it. Ended up as an easy ground ball for Willie Vasquez.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Aaron Whitefield. He walked and eventually got to third on a 2-base throwing error by catcher Alex Hall. Aces failed to score that run with Whitefield at third and only 1 out. Big swing there, comes up empty. Good pitch down in the zone.
And there are a lot of pitchers that will sometimes just try to sneak a fastball down the middle of the plate on the first pitch. You can't do that against Whitefield. Good pitch by Schmidt. Try and fool him and force a swing at a lower pitch, at a pitch that was going to miss the zone, and he did there.
This is Schmidt's second outing of the season. He threw 2 scoreless innings, worked around 2 base hits, no strikeouts, no walks in round 1 against Adelaide. Swing and a miss there from Whitefield, and it's 1-2.
And here's Whitefield again showing the aggressive approach at the plate.
Here's Schmidt's 2-strike offering, another breaking ball down and in, and Whitefield chased it. So second time he's down on strikes. First strikeout for Schmidt, 2 gone here in the 5th.
That just looked like a whole lot of the same pitch, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Schmidt just kept on fooling Whitefield on those dipping breaking balls.
Schmidt's been around a while, 34 years old, 6'3". He's from Northeast Australia. He's from Cairns. Heard really good things about that area up there. There's Chris Burke, left on left. Well, Schmidt has pitched for Perth since 2010. So he has been with the franchise since the ABL opened. He's logged almost 500 innings in the ABL, and now Burke arguing the call with the home plate umpire. It's Paul Latta behind the dish. Peter Moylan out for a quick chat. Now, Paul Latta was not part of the umpiring crew in this series, but he is here today. Ace is unhappy with the strike zone there.
It certainly was a close call.
Fly ball down the left field line and deep. Ranging back is Cook, and that one sails over the wall. A solo home run for Chris Burke, the second long ball of the inning for the Aces. And Melbourne inching closer. It's now a 5-3 game.
And the Aces just hitting the ball into the wind. Burke powers an opposite field home run. They're unhappy with the strike zone? Fine. The Aces taking matters into their own hands with 2 solo jacks in the inning.
Just hit the ball up in the air, and it's probably going to go out today. Take a look at this replay. High and away fastball. And Burke just went with the pitch, and like I just said, Josh, it seems like all you got to do is get it up in the air, and it's going to go.
Yeah, and Burke got the barrel on it. You miss upstairs against one of the guys in this Aces lineup, you're going to pay for it. That's why you have Alex Hall coming out to have a chat with Dan Schmidt.
So a 5-3 game now. 3 hits for the Aces, all solo home runs. Jacob Robson got it started in the bottom of the 4th. He went deep to right center off the scoreboard. Aiden Willis just to the left of center to open the bottom of the 5th. And now Chris Burke, left on left, takes the veteran Daniel Schmidt over the left field wall into the Heat bullpen. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Heat. 3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the Aces. Is that right? 3 errors in the game?
Yeah, there was a late scorers change that hit by Alex Hall in the 3rd ended up being ruled an error on Robbie Glendinning.
All right, and it's Glendinning at the dish right now. So he's looking to get in on the hit parade here today. 4 errors in the game, 5 home runs in the game. Glendenning swings through an off-speed pitch. It's 2-2. I think I got to raise that over/under on the home run total. I said, what did I say, 7.5?
6.5. You did.
6.5. All right, let's go like 9.5 now.
Yeah, certainly looking that way.
There's at least 4 full innings left to go. 2-strike pitch. Glendenning chases low and away, and Schmidt gets out of it. He strikes out 2, but he gives up 2 solo home runs, and the Aces cut the lead in half. 5-3 after 5 full, headed to the 6th. Keep it locked on Aces TV.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Three and a third solid innings for Mizuki Miura. Gives up just 1 run in his first outing of the season for the Aces. And we've got a punt 1-2-3 pitching change in Melbourne. The Aces bring on right-hander Jack Enciando, set to make his season debut. He's no stranger to the Mound Ballpark. Was a part of the last championship team for the Aces a couple years ago. He's been here for multiple seasons. So Enciando is on for his first outing of the season. Aces continue to hit the long ball. They have 3 hits in this game, all solo home runs. Jacob Robson got it going with 1 in the bottom of the 4th, and Aiden Willis opened the bottom 5th with 1 out to center. And then Chris Burke to straightaway left, and Apo Taco over the left field. 3 solo homers, and the Aces have cut the Perth lead in half. It's now 5-3 Perth as we start the top of the 6th inning. The first 3 to greet Enciando. 8, 9, and 1, Jake Bowie, B.J. Cook, and Tim Kennelly.
And how about this? 5 hits today so far, all of them extra bases, 4 of them left the yard.
Let's get it up in the air, and it's going to go. It's the theme today. Breaking ball from Enciando's over for a strike. Enciando's a 4-pitch pitcher, 4-seam fastball, slider, curveball. 0-1 from Jack, fastball just missed inside. He throws the slider more than the other 2 off-speed pitches, as do most of the pitchers on this Aces. A slider-heavy repertoire in terms of breaks here for the Aces pitchers. Enciando, a good start to his day, 1-2. Jack misses outside. He's throwing really hard to start his count. For the Aces in the 5th off Daniel Schmidt in his first inning of work. Enciando, curveball there. It caught a little bit too much of the plate, but Bowie fouled it off. Final line on Mizuki Miura. 3 1/3 run, walked 1 and struck out 2. Miura, 3 pitches, 35 of them strikes. Also, Enciando will have to throw at least 1 more to Bowie.
And both these new pitchers that have been brief First it was Schmidt greeted by the home run, and now a hard battle from Jake Bowie against Enciando.
Swing and a miss there, pitch down from Jack. And he sends Bowie back to the dugout.
He'd been swinging a lot, fouling off a bunch of pitches, wastes one down in the zone. Bowie certainly did. Really nice pitching to start off Jack Bowie.
You got to like what you saw there, Josh. We saw 3 of his 4 pitches and the fastball. Here's the 9-hole hitter, B.J. Cook.
As well. Looking at that slider there, it seemed really, I don't want to say a fastball because you could definitely tell it was off speed, but it was late break to see another one, just another slider curving in just at the last push that was a bit too far inside on B.J. Cook.
It's up left side of the diamond, foul ground. It'll get into the seats. It's a souvenir for a lucky fan. Well, this has been an exciting game here so far today, Josh, and fly. But I think we're all excited for the reg scheduled game 4 of the series later today. Bark at the Park Day at Melbourne Ballpark.
Already seen a couple of dogs. I'm not just talking about Ace.
Good to see some dogs at the ballpark, and now with the essentially a doubleheader today, you can bring the dogs all day, but I think a lot of people will be showing up for the regularly scheduled game with the pups. 2-2 pitch, ripped foul.
And you see now the fans starting to slowly trickle in. Inning by inning, it just seems there are more people in the seats here at Melbourne Ballpark, and that's something you always like to see.
Turned out to be a solid day for baseball. Had a little bit of a rain shower in the 3rd inning when the game resumed. But that passed quickly, and then the sun came out, and, I'm taking my sunglasses off and on every half inning, it seems like.
Now, just a light mist, though. That kind of helps spray down the field a little bit. It'll give Mick Warren and the grounds crew less work to do.
Little cue shot right at the first baseman, Matt O'Neill. Positioned perfectly for it. And Cook got that one off the end of the bat. 2 up, 2 down for Enciando.
Yeah, O'Neill didn't even have to move. Just kind of bent the knee a little bit just to get a better angle to make the squeeze. And a quick second out.
So Jack right back to work. He gets Tim Kennelly. Pitch misses. Count 1-0. Enciando, 25 years old. He's a Melbourne native. This is his 5th season with the Aces. That fastball catches the outer half, 1-1. During the championship season in 2020-2021, Enciando logged 12 1/3 innings of work, 3.65 ERA in 5 games, 1 start. Struck out 10. He also pitched 3 games, racking up 4 1/3 innings of work during the 2019-2020 championship season. Hard hit line drive at the shortstop Glendinning, but looked like he misread it a little bit. He went a step back, then moved up, and the ball snuck under his glove into left field.
Yeah, that will be ruled a base hit. And just kind of a tough read. I think the wind also might have had something to do with it because it kind of kept the ball hanging up in the air for a little bit and then just a quick drop, but it actually is going to be a second error on Robbie Glendinning. So 2 E6s today and a 4th error of the contest for the Melbourne Aces.
Sort of got him in between, and that step back hurt him. Another one that was off more of the end of the bat versus the barrel, but it was harder hit than the ball that Cook hit over to O'Neill at first. 0-1 pitch. This one's ripped up the middle, so back-to-back base runners with 2 outs. That's Vasquez with his first hit of the afternoon. 3rd time in this game he's reached base safely.
Yeah, well struck, and the first time today that a hit has not gone for extra bases.
So the E6 on Glendinning, and now a single up the middle. 4 errors in the game for Melbourne. Not an ideal trend there. And now J.D. Osborne out to chat with Enciando.
I mean, just probably talking about how to approach Caminero. He has been absolutely dangerous. 3 RBIs in a 2-for-3 day. And the only really bad part of the at-bat in the double play he hit into his last time up had nothing to do with him. It was just Vasquez trying to sneak home, catch the Aces off guard, but to no avail.
Fastball misses high. Junior Caminero, single. And he drove in a run in the first inning last night, and then he blasted a 2-run homer over the left field wall before the tarp came on the field. 1-0 breaking ball spoiled back, and even a swing like that, Josh, it just looks like Caminero's really locked in and on it.
He has a really powerful swing. You can tell that he always sticks that just extra bit of oomph behind his swing, and a whole lot of pop coming off his bat.
Enciando working out of the stretch here with 2 down. Fastball away. It's 2-1. Well, Jack, coming into today's game, had logged 59 2/3 innings in his Aces career. Started with the Aces in 2017. He threw 8 2/3 that season. Then 34 1/3 during the 2018-2019 campaign, and that's a foul ball down the left field line. Just foul.
A very, very close call.
A couple centimeters to the right, Josh, and that's probably 2 runs for Perth.
Oh, easily. Vasquez is certainly aggressive on the base pass and a lot of speed, but there's the power again from Caminero. Just hard hit right down the line, but just tailed to the left.
The expectation is that Enciando is going to work out of this Aces bullpen this year, which he has done for most of his career as an ace, but did make 8 starts during the 2018 season. 8 of his 9 appearances came in a starting role, but only 1 since then. Swing and a miss. Good fastball up top. Enciando punches out 2 in the inning, and he keeps the Heat off the board. We're through 5.5 at Melbourne Ballpark. Still a 5-3 Perth lead. Aces coming to bat on the flip side. Keep it right here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
5-3 Perth over Melbourne, bottom 6 at Melbourne Ballpark. J.D. Osborne, Jacob Robson, Matt O'Neill, 4-5-6 for Peter Moylan's club as the Aces look to claw their way back. The Aces trailed 4-0 after 2 innings. This game resumed with 2 outs and no one on in the top of the second inning today. It was originally started around 7 p.m. last night. Waited almost 2 hours to try to play last night. Then it was officially suspended. Picked up today at 11 a.m. local time. So the long ball has been the theme today as Osborne sends one up the middle. Nice sliding play by Vasquez, the shortstop, over to first in time to get JD.
And that's a bigger play than I think you'll think about it for Perth. Coming off of an inning where the Aces battled to get out of a jam, coming off a big strikeout. That looked like it was destined to be a seeing eye single by J.D. Osborne, a guy who has been great this series, but Vasquez says no with some great glove work.
It was Robson who homered on the first pitch he saw in his last AB. He got the slugfest started for the Aces, who have hit 3 home runs over their last 2 times up to bat. Robson in the 4th, and then Willis and Burke solo shots each in the 5th. Now Robson shoots one the other way into left, down in front of Cook. Just a professional hitter, is able to spray the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, you get a ball that might have drilled a hole in the video board, and then another hard hit single going the opposite way. Power to all fields for Jacob Robson, and he has worked himself into 2 hits today.
Well, the Aces are teeing off on Daniel Schmidt, who will exit this one. He worked the 5th inning, gave up the 2 solo homers, and now 2 batters into the 6th, he is headed for the dugout. So Schmidt works an inning and a third, gives up 2 runs. His line's not closed. He's responsible for Robson at first. New pitcher coming in. We'll take a quick break and let you know who the new arm is when we come back here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturalists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
The Aces will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Matt O'Neill. Jacob Robson just singled to left to end Daniel Schmidt's afternoon. Schmidt got 4 outs, an inning and a third for him. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both solo home runs. His line is not closed. Robson on first base is his responsibility. And the new pitcher for the Heat, it's right-hander Connor Lowry. This pitching change brought to you by Punt 1-2-3. It's a Punt 1-2-3 pitching change as the Heat go to their bullpen for the second time today. Aces trying to put a rally together against this Heat bullpen. Robson dives back in safely at first.
Yeah, we've talked about how aggressive he is at the plate. Certainly looking aggressive on the base pass, really dancing around, trying to get Lowry's attention.
Second multi-hit game of the season for Robson. And he's done it twice this series.
And there's another look on the All-Star Access Higher replay, just showing Robson just creeping towards second base, trying to distract Lowry. And it's led to 2 balls in the 2 pitches thrown.
2-0 on Matt O'Neill, who hit it hard his last time up and lined out to right. And there's Robson, who, like you said, Josh, was leaning, gets caught in a rundown. See if he can get out of it. And he still going, but he will not get out of it. Slides to try to get under the tag, but he is out. So that's tough because now O'Neill's no longer the tying run at the plate.
Now we'll take a look at the replay here. Lowry kind of knew it. And Robson just moving a little bit too close to second base. So it'll be 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 1, 6 on the pickoff.
I'm glad you picked up on that because I didn't even try. We've seen a lot of runners picked off in this series. Pitch to O'Neill, a called strike. It's 2-1. Well, you don't want outs on the bases anytime, but especially when you're trailing. O'Neill takes another one, and that's over for a strike.
And you can see just the kind of calm coming over Connor. Lowry was definitely a bit distracted, certainly preoccupied, a guy with the speed and aggression of Jacob Robson, but getting that pickoff is a big momentum shift in favor of the Heat.
Little tapper to the left side. Lowry tries to barehand it, but he cannot. And that should be an infield single for Matt O'Neill. And it is officially ruled a hit for O'Neill.
I talk about a blooper or a blast. That really doesn't qualify as either one of those. O'Neill kind of spiked that pitch into the dirt, but just in a tough spot, and Lowry couldn't pick it up in time. By the time he got there, O'Neill was pretty much on first base.
So here's Jared Dale, 0 for 2, pop out to second, and a ground out to third. He doubled home a run the other night against Perth in the 6-3 loss. It was his first hit in RBI of the season. Lowry out there on the mound, 6 feet 7 inches tall, 29 years old. This is his 4th season pitching for the Heat.
And now Dale represents the tying run. Certainly aggressive start to the at-bat.
Lowry's from the United States. Pitched collegiately at Dakota County Technical College in Minnesota and also High Point University in North Carolina. The extent of his professional career has been in the ABL with Perth. But he's been solid in his tenure with the Heat. A 3.17 ERA, that's including 2 previous outings this year. Sub-4 ERA in all of his 3 full seasons with the team. In 2016, Lowry posted a 3.22 ERA in 8 games. Then in 2018, had his best season with the team. Pitched in 10 games, all starts, 3.04 ERA in 47 1/3 innings, and then logged 22 2/3 more with a 3.57 ERA in 2019. Man on first, here's the 3-1. Sent up the middle, positioned perfectly is Cosma. He has it, throws across to first, and that is the final out of the inning. We're through 6 innings in Melbourne. The Heat still lead the Aces 5-3. We're headed to the 7th after this with Josh Sperber taking back over on the play-by-play.
Oh, we've been there for every game, the 4 and 20 pie. This golden crusty pastry watched us tailor kick the sky. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates, a 4 and 20 pie.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone Tools, made for Australians.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Top of the 7th inning here at Melbourne Ballpark, and what started as all Perth yesterday has turned into quite a contest.
Yeah, it's been a really fun one here, Josh. A lot of action, and that's what we like. The ball's flying out of the yard on both sides. But really, for the Aces, the difference in the game right now, the Aces have hit 3 home runs today, but all solo shots. Nobody on base in front of the guys who've put one out. On the flip side, Pete Cosma has a solo shot, but the 2-run home run from Junior Caminero last night has definitely been the difference.
And Cosma in the hole here in the top of the 7th. Josh Reddick starting things off for the Heat, taking a first pitch breaking ball from Jack Enciando for ball 1. Reddick 0 for 3 today, struck out on 3 pitches his last time up. Not this time. High fly ball, gone. A former World Series champion, Josh Reddick, gets his first homer against the Aces, and that brings the Heat lead to 6-3.
Yeah, he knew it right away. Ball got out in a hurry. It didn't clear the fence by much, but you just knew off the bat it was heading out.
And for Reddick in his first ABL season, that's his first ABL home run. Now 1 homer, 6 RBIs in his short tenure with the Heat. First pitch grounded to short. Easy play for Glenn Dinning. And he gets Ulrich Boyarsky by a step. 2 straight grounders to short for Boyarsky. And we take another look at Reddick's home run. He certainly knew it right away.
Yeah, just dropped the bat. Took a moment to admire his work. He's homered in a lot of different ballparks in his career, and he adds another one in another country.
I wonder how many different ballparks he's homered in. I might have to ask him that. So 1 out now in the 7th. First pitch, a strike to Pete Cosma. The other Heat player to homer today. 3rd overall in the game. He had Caminero's 2-run shot yesterday, and now solo shots from Cosma and Josh Reddick, both major leaguers, as that one's bounced towards the Heat's dugout, foul. Quick 0-2 count on Cosma. Former first-round pick back in 2007 to begin a pretty long major league career. St. Louis Cardinals drafted him in the 18th pick out of Owasso High School in the 2007 draft. Check swing, poked it foul, still 0-2. He played 5 of his 7 major league years with the Cardinals, 5 of his 8 major league years, with the Cardinals. Played half a year on the Yankees and Rangers in 2017. And then parts of 2018 and 2021 with the Tigers, and then 3 games for the A's in 2021. 0-2. Outside. And Osborne did well to block it, but no harm, no foul with nobody on base. It's a 1-2 count to Cosma. Over Cosma's major league career, .213 the batting average, with 5 homers and 62 RBIs. And the 1-2. Bouncing into Osborne's glove, count evens. So far this season, not his first year in the ABL. This is 3rd season all 3 with Perth. A homer and 5 RBIs this year, 8 and 42 over his 3-year ABL career. Coming into the game with a batting average of .264 in 3 years here in Australia. Full count now to Cosma. Enciando kicks and deals. Weakly hit, but into the net. We'll do it again. (6-3) the score. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. It's a 2-2 count to Pete Cosma. And Enciando deals. That is hit high in the air out to shallow center field. Glendinning eases under it to make the catch for out number 2. And Glendinning has had a couple of rocky plays at short, but he certainly seemed to have found his sea legs on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, you just got to go out there and make the next play. You make an error, you just kind of got to shake it and move on. The last one didn't come back to bite the Aces, so you just move on from it. And Robbie's been out there so much throughout his career. He's such a good infielder. A lot of trust in him moving forward.
And as you should, he's just been one of the premier offensive and defensive players in the ABL. A really great offensive signing by Melbourne, as another pitch misses to Alex Hall. Hall, the beneficiary of one of Glendinning's 2 errors on the night, though. 0 for 2 at the plate, reached on an error and a walk in the 3rd and 1st. Outside of the fastball, and it's quickly 3-0. One of the rare times that Jack Enciando has fallen behind a hitter. As the pitch misses, and it's a 4-pitch walk. First free pass of the day puts Alex Hall on first base with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jake Bowie, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Enciando, though, 28 pitches, 17 for strikes. 1 walk thus far, and now Bowie stepping up to the plate.
Enciando trying to limit the damage, keep this a 6-3 game, and these teams trading solo shots over the last few innings. See if the Aces can mount a rally after this.
Just missing. It's 5 straight balls for Jack Enciando, a 1-0 to the Heat first baseman. He's worked deep into counts today, but 2 of his 3 at-bats he struck out swinging. And a pitch. Breaking ball just missing inside, and it's 2-0. Nobody warming up in the Aces pen. And Osborne staying behind the plate, trusting his pitcher. 2-0. High and outside, and it's 3-0. For the 2nd straight at bat, Enciando having a difficult time finding the strike zone. Hall's got a short lead off first base, and Enciando deals. Swing and a miss. Low breaking ball gets Bowie to go, and it's 3-1. That could be the kind of shot in the arm, confidence-wise, that Enciando needs.
And he was sharp in his first inning of work, and just trying to get back and find that zone here, but just needs that one last out.
Hit on the ground to second. Easy play for Dale, and that will end the inning. But the Heat get themselves a little bit further out in front. A no-doubt solo shot by Josh Reddick makes it 6-3 Perth, as we're going to stretch it out here at Melbourne Ballpark. 45 years, Hobson's Bay Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating their patients like family. The Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth to Hobson Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's west and Geelong. local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap a wealth of resources and join a winning team. Light and Easy is the official meal provider for the Aces, making life easier for everyone here at Melbourne Ballpark. While I go grab one for myself, take a look at what our team thinks.
What are you up to, Aussie Mike?
Right.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm just getting a little food in me, got to stay fueled for those broadcasts of, before I go on air, got to have something light and easy. I really like this egg and avocado salad one, gives me all the fuel I need and, not too heavy on the stomach. Like I say, I always get hungry in the middle innings, so I got my snacks for later on in the game. Light and easy, always keeping me fueled.
For a game, I need something light and easy to get me going. I've really been enjoying the steak with Diane sauce and some veggies.
Well, the Aces dance team helping the fans and the dogs stretch things out here at Melbourne Ballpark. The Heat stretched out their lead in the top half of the 7th inning. Heading into the bottom half, though, it's 6-3 Perth and a new pitcher on the mound. We have another pitching change brought to you by our friends at punt123.bet. Another Rays prospect on the mound for Perth, Junior William, getting his first action of the series after Connor Lowry finishes things off in his 2/3 of an inning for Perth. William will face the bottom of the Aces order, 8, 9, and then 1 in Aiden Willis, Jared Cruz, and Aaron Whitefield. The only hit among that 3 was Willis's home run in his last at bat, and he's back in the box to lead things off.
He got a great,
the 22-year-old right-hander.
He got a great piece, Josh, his last time up, blasted that one out to center, and that one was not as big of a beneficiary of the wind as some of the others.
High pop-up out to shallow right center field. Diving play unsuccessful. And now Willis is going to take advantage, head to second base. It was a tough run for Ulrich Bojarski, and that should go down as a second hit of the day in consecutive at-bats for Aiden Willis as we take a look at the All-Star Access Higher Instant Replay.
Another one for extra bases for Aiden. And one thing with Aiden is he's always going to bust it out of the box. He's not going to just dog it and say, all right, lazy fly ball, let me just jog to first. No, he was out of the box in a hurry and smelled base hit as he saw that one drop in right field.
Yeah, pretty much anything that comes off Willis's bat, he's got to think extra bases. Certainly has that speed. So a leadoff double brings up Jared Cruz, the utility man for Melbourne, as he takes a first pitch strike from William. Cruz 0 for 3 today, grounded, or 0 for 2 today, grounded out in his last at bat. As we take a look at the final line for Connor Lowry. 2/3 of an inning, clean line, but 1 hit allowed. So no walks, no runs allowed, no strikeouts. As a high bunt down the first base line, it's going to be enough to send Willis to third. And a whole lot of interference in front of the first base bag. That's going to corner up the runners for Melbourne. Should go down as Cruz's first hit of the day. Just a really difficultly placed bunt single.
Yeah, good placement there from Cruz, and just trying to make something happen any way you can. Keep a rally going. And now runners at the corners with no outs for the top of the order.
And it is ruled an error. That's going to go on Junior William, a Rays prospect who pitched the majority of his last season with the Carolina League champion Charleston River Dogs. 6 games in the FCL, where they set a record for best regular season record, but lost in the finals to the FCL Yankees team. First pitch to Aaron Whitefield in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Not a long season for William, though. In total, just 9 appearances across the FCL, the Florida Complex League. Played out in Port Charlotte, where the Raids have their spring training and their practice facilities. And then in Charleston. And Whitefield lifts this one deep into left center field. Could it go? Goodbye. Aaron Whitefield, one swing of the bat, ties this game up.
Well, I had a feeling we were going to see something like that happen after the ball in right center dropped, and then that bunt attempt that led to an error brought the tying run up. Whitefield hadn't done much so far in the game, a couple strikeouts in the walk. He got a pitch in the middle of the zone, and didn't take long for this game to be tied.
Yeah, Junior William just left that one right over the heart of the plate, and we have a brand new ball game here in Melbourne. 6-6. The Aces get their 4th home run of the day. None bigger than that, though, as the first pitch to Chris Burke misses to make it 1-0.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, all solo homers for the Aces before that, but the 3-run blast, that's a huge blow to this Perth team that's led the entire way.
And we talked about timely hitting for Melbourne. Doesn't get much better than that. Aaron Whitefield's first homer as an Ace. And a big spot. Fastball misses up and away, and it's 2-1.
That ball was crushed.
Yeah, that might still be flying.
Might have been the hardest hit ball of the day.
That's hard to say. There's a lot of balls well struck by the Aces. Robson's homer, I think, has my vote for hardest ball of the day, but we got to see StatCast for that. Fastball catching the inside corner. Now it's 2-1 to Burke, who provided one of those home runs back in the 5th inning. Struck out in his first 2 at-bats, but delivered a run on an opposite field blast. That one's lifted high in the air out to shallow left field. Easy play for Cook to make the squeeze for the first out of the inning. Now Robbie Glendening, who walked in the first yesterday, was the Aces' first base runner of the ball game, but strikeouts in his 2 at-bats today as we take another look at Whitefield's home run.
You know, Tony, the technical director up here in the booth, he's been with the Aces for a lot of years, does a ton in the Melbourne area. He said to me yesterday, he's like, we're going to have like an 18-16 game here. And, I mean, we're trending that way.
It's looking like it. Only 6-6 thus far as Glendening takes the first pitch low for ball 1. What'd you say the new over and under? Under
I reset the line at 9.5.
Yeah, you might need to hammer the over.
Might need to bump it back to 11 or 12.5.
18 or 16 maybe.
Yeah, I mean I'm the bookie. I'm the bookie, so I can do whatever I want. I can control the lines.
2-0 pitch. That falls in there for strike 1. Is Aussie Mike turning into Bookie Mike?
You never know. You just got to stay on your toes. You never know what Aussie Mike's going to get into.
You never know what Aussie Mike's new nickname's going to be, clearly. 2-1 catches the outside corner to even the count to 2-2. I've never been a nickname guy.
We got to find one for you. It has to happen organically, but I think we could find one.
Yeah, no nickname is forced. That's hit on a tear, but foul.
In terms of the betting lines, might have to go give a call to our friends at punt123.bet, see if they can give us some advice.
And another look. Aaron Whitefield got all of that baseball on the homer.
That's a beautiful swing. The follow through right there, middle of the barrel. Everybody in the ballpark knew it.
Yeah, Whitefield certainly knew it.
Who's next? That's the question.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting bet. Payoff pitch to Glendening. Inside, I'm not sure if that hit him, but either way, Robbie Glendening will end up on first base. The go-ahead run on the first base bag for Melbourne. How about that?
All right, JD's been swinging a bat well, squaring up a lot of pitches. Another look at the Whitefield blast, and we can't see that enough times.
Yeah, we can keep on queuing that up. I will never get tired of it. I'm also just curious if the ball even dropped.
That's a sweet swing.
I did not see that baseball come down.
That's a really sweet swing from Aaron right there. He took the long route to first base, wanted to get a good angle to watch that one fly over the wall.
Yeah, he was really taking his time, admiring that beautiful swing.
I think that's the sweetest swing of the day.
Oh, easily.
I also think I really do. If we saw them all on video, I think that one might be the hardest hit ball if we had the numbers in front of us.
I think you're right, and I still don't think the ball has come down yet. we'll keep you posted on that. First pitch to J.D. Osborne misses upstairs, a guy who is no stranger to coming up in big spots for Melbourne. Something we all saw in the first game of this series on Thursday night.
He came up with the timely hits when the Aces needed them the most.
And they need one here. Aces looking for their first lead of the day. And yesterday, too. As Junior William gets the words of encouragement from Alex Hall. 2-0 the count to J.D. Osborne. As Whitefield still smiling in the Aces dugout there. All squared up at 6. 2-0 count with 1 out to J.D. Osborne. High fastball, and it's 3-0. You now want to put 2 guys on base for Jacob Robson. He's sitting on deck for Melbourne, and Osborne just calm, cool, and collected. In this case, especially, a walk is as good as a hit.
I mean, right now the Aces hitters are like, who's got next? Like, let me grab a bat. I want to hit.
Yeah, maybe they're taking bets on who's hitting the next home run in that dugout. As Osborne sees a pitch he likes on 3-0, but fouls it. I think that hit off just about everyone.
It's one of those days where, a swing like that, a foul tip, it's really one of those days where you can say, hey, if he makes square contact with it, that would have gone. Pitch right down the middle, and the umpire took a shot right there.
Not even flinching. Paul Lotta taking that like a champ. Kind of pinballed off of his chest protector. Made some contact with Osborne as well. But it's a 3-1 count to J.D. with 1 out. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. William blows that fastball by him to fill up the count 3-2.
Yeah, we had a cool conversation with J.D. down there on the batting cage the other day, talking about the different bats that he's used throughout his career. He said he's a guy where it's taken him a while to find wood bats that he's comfortable with. It's a lot different than the aluminum bats that he's used in college.
Seems like he's found the one he likes. Payoff pitch. That's lifted high in the air. Foul down the right field side.
He said he's tried all different bats from all different companies. He's messed around with the weight a little bit. He says he likes his a little more top-heavy with the weight distributed more towards the top of the bat versus down towards the handle. Interesting conversation because a lot of guys have just swung the same bat, same model, same length and weight their entire life, but JD has messed around and really had to feel out what works for him.
Yeah, he changed his bat mid-batting practice yesterday and flips the bat, called strike 3. And Osborne unhappy as he goes back to the dugout. But Jacob Robson, who has hit 2 scorchers in his last 2 at-bats.
I just like watching Robson hit because of the approach that he has up there. He's always looking to do damage early in the count. And, it's just about feel. Some guys like swinging early. Some guys like to see a few and work the count a little bit. But Robson, always aggressive.
He just wants to hit, plain and simple. A rare first pitch take, settles in for a called strike. And Robson, a homer and a single today, grounded out to short in his lone at bat in the original first inning of this game. That was yesterday, though. One of those hits put a little dent in the scoreboard. That one misses outside on the fastball. It's 1-1. Robson, 2 home runs on the season, 2 for 2 today, 2 for 3 overall in Game 3 of this series between Perth and Melbourne. Aces mounting a bit of a comeback today, but we've seen 6 home runs. Breaking ball just catches the outside corner. And now it's 1-2 to Robson.
Robson wasn't so sure about that one, so he'll take his time, readjust the batting gloves, and get ready to hit with 2 strikes on him.
The go-ahead run on first in the form of Robbie Glendenning. He has stayed put at the first base bag. And William just trying to get out of this inning. The pitch. And that one is hammered into the gap in left center field. That's going to drop for extra bases. Glendenning's going to sprint into third. He will settle up there, and Jacob Robson, a triple short of the cycle with that 2-out double.
Just such a great approach from Robson. Simplifies his swing with 2 strikes. doesn't try to pull that ball. He stayed with it on the outer half and hit it to where it was pitched. And take a look at the All-Star Access Higher replay right here. Just really quiet hands in the box, taking his time and just driving one to the opposite field. Simple swing, sort of a Chase Utley type swing where he doesn't not full follow through there. But really, really solid piece of hitting from Jacob, and takes the home run to the pull side and then goes oppo with his next 2 hits.
2 hard hit balls to the opposite field, and this one is enough to chase Junior William from the game. Andrew Kyle takes the ball from his reliever and will bring another lefty into the contest. It's a punt 1-2-3.bet pitching change, and we'll take a look at who's coming in for Perth to finish off this 7th inning when we come back.
Got a pitch in the middle of the zone, and didn't take long for this game to be tied.
Yeah, Junior who's hitting the next home run in that dugout. As Osborne sees a pitch he likes on 3-0, and William just trying to get out of this inning. The pitch. And that one is hammered into the gap in left center field. That's going to drop for extra bases. Glendinning's going to sprint into third. He will settle up there, and Jacob Robson, a triple short. So Junior Williams' day is done. That gives way to another left-hander for the Perth Heat. It's Jordan Martinson in this pitching change, brought to you by our friends at punt123.bet. And Martinson coming in with 2 outs, but a difficult situation for the left-hander.
Yeah, not easy to come in with runners at second and third. Not a lot of room for error. Now, there is a base open, so you don't have to worry about walking or hitting the first batter you face, because it's not going to force in a run. So he's got that first base open to work with. But again, a wild pitch, a pass ball, an error of some sort, that's going to lead to at least 1 run. So not easy, and he's really got to bear down here.
And Junior Williams' day is done. Still responsible for the 2 runners on base. 2/3 of an inning. 2 of those 3 runs will be earned. But he allowed 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. And he will get the loss if the Aces can get a run and the score can hold. It's 6-6 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jacob Robson on second, Robbie Glendinning on third, and Matt O'Neill at the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
7th man to hit in the inning. Let's just keep it going.
Right on left matchup. Something O'Neill will like. Lets the slider get in there, but it misses inside. Count 1-0. O'Neill, no stranger to big hits in his short time with the Aces. Had a single his last time up, makes him 1 for 3 on the day. And, of course, everyone still remembers that walk-off grand slam in the last time they had a game suspended due to rain.
Well, I'm ready for the next home run to be hit, Josh. I got the home run tracker in my scorebook now. I wrote it out. Got tally marks going. See if I have to reset the line again.
Yeah, it looks like it might.
Bookie Mike, hashtag it.
Book it?
Could do that too.
1-1 count to O'Neill. And that one is hit into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Glendinning scores easily, and Robson sprints around third. No throw to the plate. He will score. A 2-run single for Matt O'Neill, and the Aces take the lead. 8-6 Melbourne.
Getting the job done. What a rally the Aces have put together here in the 7th inning. This team just never quits. They've played from behind so often this season, and they just continue to grind out at bats and a ton of hard hit balls here in the inning. It's not like they've taken advantage of walks. There was 1 error and 1 walk in the inning, so not crazy, but just really good baseball and really great approaches from these hitters.
The Aces coming from 4 runs down in a game that was just all Perth yesterday, and now is in control And now the Aces are in control. Dale swings and misses at strike one. They gotten a piece of that baseball, though, as we take another look at the All-Star Access higher
count
replay.
to O'Neill.
And that one is hit into off the end of the bat, but enough of the barrel for O'Neill. And Josh Reddick, not a good enough throw to get out the speedy Jacob Robson. 0-2 the count now to Dale. But Matt O'Neill still atop first base. Could be the hero again for Melbourne.
Yeah, he's come up so big for this team so far. We're only 2 rounds into the season. Talking to Matt the other day about his walk-off grand slam, he said he was just trying to end the game. The game had gone on too long. Here he gets it done a few innings earlier.
0-2. Inside, bounces in front of the catcher. O'Neill heads to second. The throw is not good, and it'll end in center field. O'Neill was safe at second, and now he'll head to third base on the errant throw by Alex Hall. So that's going to be an error on Hall. A whole lot of runs and a bunch of errors in this game as well.
Yeah, everything going the Aces' way right now, and Matt O'Neill heads up base running, knowing he could make it to second there, forcing a bad throw, and then popped up really quickly, read that the ball was in center field, and got to third easily.
It will be a stolen base for O'Neill, but also an E2 that allows him to advance to third. So now a runner on third with 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jared Dale. The pitch. Inside, Hall blocks this one better, and O'Neill stays on third base. 2-2 the count.
7 errors in this game. 7 homers as well. Seen a lot.
Yeah, opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Now, the error in the inning definitely contributing to this rally for the Aces, but give the Aces credit for coming up with the hits in big spots, especially with 2 outs.
Oh, you can't take anything away from how good the Aces have been at the plate. 2-2, broken bat single over to second. Easy play for Cosma to end the inning, but the damage was done for Melbourne. The Aces put 5 runs home here in the 7th, most in a single inning this season, and they take the lead. 8-6 Aces heading into the 8th.
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Aces are working their way towards some celebratory Brick Lane beers. 5 runs, 4 of them earned. And we'll take another look at the Matt O'Neill single that gave Melbourne the lead. Got some good barrel on it and great base running to bring the 2 runs home. A good throw wouldn't have had Robson there as we take a look at the All-Star Access Higher replay. 8-6 the lead for the Aces. Hits all even at 9, but another pitching change for Melbourne now. Thanks to our friends at punt123.bet. We have a pitching change for the Aces. Cameron Gibbons is going to make his second relief appearance of the series and the season, facing 9-1-2 for the Perth Heat. B.J. Cook fouls the first pitch he sees into the netting. Count 0-1. So for Enciando, who's now in line for the victory if the score holds, this is a save situation for Gibbons. But Enciando, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Fastball up and into Cook makes it 1-1. The weather has certainly held up now. A beautiful day for baseball here at Melbourne Ballpark. As the pitch misses up and in again, 2-1. Cook singled and scored back in the second inning, scoring on that Junior Caminero home run. Flied out and lined out in his previous 2 at-bats. 2-1 settles in there, evening up the count at 2-2. Cook and Liam Collins have been alternating in left field in this series for Perth, who otherwise have kept their lineup very similar. And Gibbons deals. Outside, count runs full. So Gibbons got in on Friday in his season debut with the Aces after he began his year with Team Australia, the Samurai Series down in Japan. Payoff pitch up and in, and Gibbons walks the first batter he faces. That'll reset the lineup card and bring Tim Kennelly to the plate here in the top of the 8th inning. Gibbons pitched the 8th against Perth. Pitched the 6th. 1 walk, 1 run, or 2 walks, 1 hit, 1 run allowed in his 1 inning of work this season. Another guy with his face outside Melbourne Ballpark as he sets the first pitch in there for a strike against his Australia national team teammate in Tim Kennelly. Josh Sperber, Aussie Mike in the broadcast booth here as the tying run is now at the plate for Perth in the form of their 13-year vet. Their talisman, if we're using some soccer speak with the World Cup starting, as the pitch misses upstairs, count 1-1.
I know you're pretty hyped for that World Cup to start.
Oh, yeah. That's why we don't have Ed Wyatt on our broadcast team, because he'll be covering some World Cup action. He'll be back towards the end of the year, though, as Kennelly lifts this one high in the air, deep to center field, but Whitefield is under it, and there's the first out. I don't think there's a ball that he can't track. A very capable fielder after playing as the DH in the first series against Geelong. Whitefield seems pretty comfortable in his customary center field role.
Yeah, I like the way Peter Moylan eased him back into his duties in center, get him, at the top of the order, DH in a couple games, get your swings in, but, take a couple days off your feet, then get back into patrol in the middle of the diamond out in center.
So the tying run still at the plate, but that might be over. On a second, on a short for 1, on to first, double play. Just like that, Cameron Gibbons out of the inning on a 4-6-3 double play. A quick top of the 8th for Melbourne. The Aces lead 8-6 here on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Light and Easy's award-winning healthy meal delivery service features over 235 delicious breakfasts, lunches and dinners for everyone to enjoy. From those who want to lose weight to those who want to gain more free time. From those who want to be a little healthier to those a little older who want to age well. There's no shopping or cooking, and there's no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, ready-to-eat meals delivered to your door when you need them. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
The Aces bat around in their lineup. Every player in the starting 9 got to hit in the 7th, and Aiden Willis will lead off the 8th to try and get more of the same. 8-6 here at the first Bark in the Park of the season. We welcome your dogs in the booth as well. I know some dog pats and broadcasting can go a long way. First pitch to Aiden Willis in there for a called strike, with Jordan Martinson still on the mound for the Heat. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and it's strike 2. And we saw Jordan Powers set up all the way on the first base side of the rubber. And now Martinson, the lefty on lefty, setting up all the way on the third base side of the rubber to try and fool Aiden Willis. A little bit of deception on that delivery. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Willis will take off for first, but a quick throw to first for out number 1. K2-3. First punch out of the day for Jordan Martinson.
Yeah, Willis, like I said, always hustling out of the box. Didn't take anything for granted there and hustled the entire way down. But nice pitch by Martinson to go down in the zone there and get Willis to chase.
That'll bring up Jared Cruz. Reached on an error and scored on that Aaron Whitefield home run to tie up the game. He's 0 for 3 today, as the breaking ball catches the inside corner. Count 0-1. Cruz, one of the longest tenured members of the Aces in his 9th season with the club. Part of those 2 championship teams from 2019 to 2021, as the breaking ball bounces out of Hall's glove to even the count at 1-1. He's played every single position in the field except for pitcher and catcher, and has certainly been useful, providing some late life in the lineup, typically hitting towards the end of that Aces order. 1-1, misses upstairs, 2-1. An infield shift towards the pull side of Cruz. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
Well, Cruz played a big role in that 5-run 7th inning. Dropped that bunt down that led to the error. Hey, when you got to make the defense make a play, sometimes they don't, and it leads to good things, and that's what happened for the Aces.
Yeah, just 2 pitches after that, Whitefield tied up the game. High chopper up the middle. Vasquez charging. Close play at first, but in time. And 2 quick outs for Jordan Martinson, much needed for the Heat. But there's the man again, Aaron Whitefield, stepping up to the plate after a long home run.
Oh, that ball, I mean, if we could see another replay maybe 5 or 6 more times, it was that fun to watch. I mean, just the sweetest swing and hit the ball really hard.
I could watch that all the time, that play all day. And you got to love those home runs when the batter just knows it's out as soon as it leaves the bat. 2 outs is a breaking ball, just misses outside. Count 1-0 to Aaron Whitefield.
I know our do-it-all video media guy, James Dabkowski, a.k.a. Jimmy Dabs, will have some fun with that on the next highlight reel, but there's that replay again.
Aaron Whitefield looking like he had some fun with that on the home run trot for sure. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Glad that he's in Melbourne this season.
Yeah.
Say that.
2-time champion, 3-time Helms Award winner in his 5th overall year in the ABL. Played the previous 4 for Brisbane and Adelaide. Now he swings and misses at strike 2. Took him a little bit to get hot. Took him a couple games to get hot with the Aces. But he had a multi-hit game to start off this series. And now the big-time tying home run here. Looks like he held up his swing. And The appeal to first base says he did. Andrew Bell, the first base umpire, says that it is 2-2 now. And the Aces, once they get Darryl George back, I think they did for one game at the end of the Geelong series. You can bat the past 2 Helms Award winners back-to-back. 2-2. Hit on the ground to third. Stays fair. Caminero slings it to first. And a 1-2-3 8th inning for Perth. Much needed defense. Keep the score at 8-6. But the Heat get one last chance in the top of the 9th. Aussie Mike will take you home when we come back. The Aces try to close it out here on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Three outs to get for the Aces, and it's left-hander Evan Rutsky who will come on to try to close out the Perth Heat in Game 3 of this 4-game series. 8-6 Aces lead, 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th to take their first lead of the afternoon. And now Rutsky a chance to pick up his first save of the season. This pitching change brought to you by punt123.bet. As the Aces go to their bullpen for the 4th time today, 5th pitcher in the game for Melbourne. The left-hander Rutsky set to make his 3rd appearance of the 2022-2023 season. 2 scoreless innings of work with 2 strikeouts and no walks or hits allowed for Rutsky. This is his 2nd season overall in the ABL. Pitched for Adelaide during the 2019-2020 campaign. Went 2-2 with a 3.63 ERA and 14 relief appearances that year. And the Windsor, Ontario native set to face 3-4-5 in the Heat order. Junior Caminero, the first man to greet Rutsky. Pitch is over for a strike.
Yeah, 6 up, 6 down, as you said, for Rutsky this year, and I'm sure that Peter Moylan and the Aces are looking for more of the same from the big left-hander.
Caminero's driven in 3 in the game. All 3 ribbies came over the first 2 innings last night. Tried to check his swing, and he did, according to first base umpire Andrew Bell.
And it's really been a tale of 2 days in this game. The homer and the RBI single last night, a double play and a strikeout today.
Mizuki Miuta started on the mound in this game for the Aces. He did not start the game. Kyuta Kazama started last night's Game 3. That's when it started. He went an inning and 2/3. Miuta, 3 1/3 innings of 1-run ball. Then he turned it over to Jack Enciando, gave up 1 run in 2 innings of work. Cam Gibbons, a scoreless 8th in his 2nd outing of the season. And now Rutsky. 1-2, fastball high and tight. It's 2-2. The Aces trailed the entire way until the bottom of the 7th. They plated 5 runs. They sent 9 to the plate. 4 hits, 3 for extra bases. A walk and an error in that inning as well. Aaron Whitefield tied the game with a 3-run homer to left. Matt O'Neill with 2 down sent a 2-run single into center. Caminero flips one foul out of play down the right field line. And we'll do the 2-2 again. Jacob Robson has 3 hits in the game for the Aces. He got the first hit of the game for Melbourne, a solo homer off the scoreboard in right center in the bottom of the 4th. Solo homers from Aiden Willis and Chris Burke in the 5th. And then that 5-run 7th. 2-2 misses outside and the count runs full. The Heat looking to bring the tying run to the plate. Josh Reddick is on deck. Reddick homered his last time up. One of 3 Perth homers today. 4 for Melbourne, 7 total. Rutsky takes his time to pay off pitch. In on the hands of Caminero, and he fouls it back. So Junior is making Evan work. Rutsky, 30 years old. Been everywhere in his baseball career. Former Yankees farmhand. Spent a lot of years in the Yankees minor league system. He's pitched a little independent ball as well. 3-2 again. Breaking ball popped up right side of the diamond. Both Dale and O'Neill with their gloves up shading the sun, and it's Jared Dale who makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down in the 9th, and a good start for Rutsky.
And that's just good communication between Dale and O'Neill over at first base. Those high pop-ups on the infield are deceptively difficult to judge, especially when the sun is just overhead and so bright as it is today. But Dale calling off O'Neill and making that look easy.
Rutsky has some experience closing out games. As recently as 2021, he spent some time as a closer for Quebec in the Frontier League. Saved 6 games that season, worked 31 1/3 innings. First pitch to Reddick is a hard slider that catches the outer part of the plate, 0-1. Well, I did some digging, and I wanted to find out how many times Peter Moylan, the Aces manager, faced Josh Reddick during their big league careers. Moylan faced Reddick 3 times, got him out twice. Reddick did double off him once. Softly hit ground ball to first. O'Neill scoops it up, has it at the bag. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th.
Yeah, no double there.
That's pretty cool, that you can just so quickly Google something like that and find it, but also the connections that baseball will bring.
Yeah, Peter Moylan's a guy who just seems to know everyone. Like, there's always been an extended period of time pregame where he's chatting up one of the coaches or some of the players. Just a guy who's been in baseball for so long has been able to connect with so many different players.
Ulrich Boyarsky, the last chance for the Heat. Aces hold a 2-run advantage. The Heat will have to get a base runner on to bring that tying run up. Rutsky looking for his first save of the season in his 3rd appearance and the 2nd save for an Aces pitcher this season. Stephen Kent picked up the first. Kent saved game 1 of this series. 5-2 win for the Aces. Count 1-1 on Boyarsky, who's had a really nice series. He's driven in a run in every game so far this weekend. 6 RBIs total. 5 of those ribbies came on 2 home runs. Had the RBI single in his first at-bat of this game, which came last night. 1-1 pitch from Rutsky. Got a check swing, appeal down to first, and Andrew Bell says Boyarsky went around. See if Rutsky can end the game on this next pitch. The Aces are 2-0 and leading after both 7 and 8 innings this year. Here's the 1-2 from Evan. Breaking ball down and in. It's ball 2.
And he just looks so sharp. 3 short stints, and not just because it's 1 inning, because he's made them quick. He's attacking the hitters. He's hitting the spots, he's hitting the targets that the catchers are putting out for him. Rutsky looking like a really reliable guy in the back end of the Aces bullpen.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Rutsky misses high, and the count runs full. Aces looking for their 3rd come-from-behind win so far this season. Looking for their 4th win overall. 5 runs in the 7th, the difference right now for Melbourne. Here's Rutsky's 3-2. Line drive out to short. Glendinning has it on one hop. Spins, throws to first. O'Neill can't hang on. He keeps it in front, but the game continues. Boyarsky reaches, and that'll bring up Pete Kozma.
That's going to be the 3rd error of the day on Robbie Glendinning. Really a difficult play out at short. Kind of a spinning throw as we take a look at the replay here. He did a good job to get to it, but just didn't settle his feet enough, and short hop for O'Neill, too tough to handle. But that is the first base runner that Rutsky has allowed.
Brings up Pete Kozma, who doubled in the 3rd and homered in the 5th. First homer of the season for Kozma. He takes fastball high there, 1-0. It really has turned out to be a nice day at the ballpark. Light blue skies off in the distance, some cloud cover, but not too many dark clouds, and that's what we like.
Looks like it's going to hold out for a nice game 2.
1-0 to Kozma, sent over our heads. It's 1-1.
I almost had it.
That close. Got to bring our gloves up here.
Oh, yeah.
You just never know.
One could sneak through the netting. Although barehanded catch would look a lot cooler.
Always ready. Rutsky, the 5th pitcher of this game for the Aces. Can he be the last? Lefty ready's the 1-1. That's outside.
And that might have been not an expressly a pitch out, but kind of a half pitch out there from Rutsky as Boyarsky was looking threatening on that lead.
I know Mick Wern, who helps put together the roster here in Melbourne, was talking the other day about bringing in a guy like Rutsky who everybody trusts to get the job done. Well, this is a big spot. 2-1. That's inside. 3-1.
He's missed a little bit, but really has not missed by much when he hasn't hit his spots on the plate. Trying to paint the black on the inside part of the plate here to Pete Kozma.
At 27th out, the hardest one to get. That's what Rutsky's looking for right now. 3-1 sent in the air, shallow right field. It's way up there, and it's Jared Dale who camps under it to make the grab. And another one in the win column for the Aces. The Aces have won 4 of their last 5. They moved to 4-2 on the season. Meanwhile, the Heat dropped to 4-3. And the Aces will earn at least a series split this weekend with Perth. They've taken 2 of the first 3 of round 2 and a chance for a series win. And they don't have to wait very long for a chance to get that series victory, Josh.
Yeah, the game's going to start in just about half an hour, and you got to love how quick this game went for the Aces. Great pitching, particularly in relief, and the hitting just came up absolutely clutch. A whole lot of power coming from the Aces. Aaron White, right field with a big game-tying home run, and Matt O'Neill wasted no time in getting the win as well. Just a great all-around performance from Melbourne, bouncing back after a difficult start yesterday.
7 home runs and 7 errors in the game. The Aces hit 4 of the 7 homers. 3 were solo shots. Jacob Robson, Aiden Willis, and Chris Burke all went yard. And then Aaron Whitefield, the 4th and final homer of the day for the Aces. A game-tying 3-run shot in the bottom of the 7th. Matt O'Neill, a few batters later, with the eventual game-winning 2-run single to center as we take a look at some of the homers hit in today's ball game. But that is the difference, the 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th for the Aces. Great job by the Aces bullpen to get the job done today. 4 Aces relievers combined to allow just 2 runs in 7 1/3 innings of work. Give you a quick run through of what happened before we go off air before the start of Game 4 of this series. Mizuki Miuta went 3 1/3 innings. He gave up just 1 run in his ABL debut. Jack Enciando, 2 innings of 1-run ball in the middle innings. He gets the win in today's ball game in his first outing of the season. So Enciando gets the win. Cam Gibbons, a scoreless frame in the 8th. He picked up the hold in his second outing of the season, and then the save to Evan Rutsky, who's now worked 3 scoreless innings on the season. He gets his first save of the year. The loss goes to Junior William, who had a tough 7th inning, got just 2 outs in that frame, and was the man on the losing end today. 6 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors for the Heat. The Aces victorious, 8 runs on 9 hits and 5 errors. A lot of errors in the game, but the home runs were the bigger story, and the Aces bullpen finishing off the game here today. Josh and I will be back on air soon for the start of Game 4 of Round 2. Game 3 just completed after it started last night, was suspended until today. We just finished that one up. We appreciate anyone who has tuned in here watching the games. We've got more baseball to play. 7-inning game in the next one. It was trimmed from 9 to 7 because of the suspension of last night's game being finished today. So that's what we got going on. The next game will start in about a half an hour, and we will be back on air shortly. So we'll do a quick pregame show when we get set for the next game, let you know the starting lineups, the starting pitchers, and get you everything else you need to know. So we'll hop off air for now. Shout out to my guy Josh Sperber next to me, our great production crew. My name is Michael Marcantonini. We'll hop back on air in a little bit. Stay tuned on the Melbourne Aces TV network.